Hello, welcome to Die Rolling. I'm the ever excitable Adam, and today I'm joined by
the eternally intolerable Alex. Hello.
Hello.
And
the ever traitorous Will.
And I did it differently. Last time we did this, I started with Will, so I think he was anticipating, but he didn't get it. So today we're here to play a game of Grim Incorporated, which is a game where we're basically working for, we're working for death. And we're trying to pitch our ideas to our line manager how to kill specific people in specific situations with specific items.
Mm-hmm.
We played around this each, and I think we've had a good time doing this. This is definitely up Alex's alley here because he loves really grim kind of settings. But yeah, so how it works is basically one of us becomes the line manager and he's going to vote on which one they think is, gets the recognition. Roll a dice first. If they get a skull, then they get a message from the top, which basically means they could give it a bonus, or they could give a disciplinary, or some other things could happen. And then the other people will be grabbing it. Sorry. The line manager then grabs a setting card and a soul card, and the other characters, other people get an implement card each, and they have a minute to figure out, using that implement, how they would kill that person. And then they have a minute, using the sound timer, to pitch that idea to the line manager. The line manager then gives out a recognition card to the person they thinks actually is had the best idea or the most creative idea. And once you have 3 recognition cards, you win. There are disciplinary cards, which will basically stop you getting a recognition card. And there's also bonus cards, which might do some things. I think that's about it, right?
Yeah, that is, yeah.
Okay, it's a very simple game, very quick. So the person who's closest to death gets to go first. And that doesn't necessarily mean by age, otherwise would be me. So we both think Alex is most... Alex thinks he's most likely to die anyway. So Alex, reveal a set... Well, first of all, roll your dice.
Roll the dice, yeah.
You can't see the roll. It's a
skull.
Message
so
from the
keep
top.
it to yourself.
From the top.
Keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. Keep it together. Keep it
And then
together.
you can tell us later. Oh, God.
Just be careful you're not going off camera there. You might be on camera, but I'm not sure.
One of us is fired by the
Getting
sound,
close.
by the looks of the facial expression.
Do you understand what the card says? Perfect, right. Choose a setting and a soul for us then, please. As by choose, you're just picking the top one. So setting.
A luxury cruise. Good start. A hermit.
So a hermit on a luxury cruise.
Okay.
Start timer, Alex.
So it's that time
We can't look at the cards until you started that.
Hey.
Cool. So we got a minute to sort of think about... How the hell am I meant to do this? No.
The more random, the better.
Okay, right. I've got an idea. It kind of works. It depends on. I'm going to be disciplined for
I
this.
think I've got this.
I think I might do, but I think I'm going to be disciplined. But I've got to.
So whilst you're waiting, guys, the timer is going down. Alex is looking at his card, trying to figure out
Who to
who to punish. Have you got a good idea for yours? You figured it out?
Maybe.
I might have something. And you've only got a minute to pitch this, so it's tricky.
And go.
You turn it over then. Okay, so Gerald Sasquatch, he's a hermit. He lives in the middle of the woods, and it's a self-imposed kind of like exile he's given himself. He doesn't really like going out of civilization. The only thing he does enjoy is cheese. He can't get enough of cheese. Absolutely loves it. So he actually has a mail order subscription of cheese that comes through to his place every single week. That's how much cheese this guy likes to eat. Anyway. He didn't realise, but there was actually a competition going on where he could win a luxury cruise, and he won it. It's the first thing he's won in absolute years. So Gerald Sasquatch, he's like, I'm going to do this. He goes away. He packs all of his things. He goes in, and he's really worried about going into civilization because he's not been there in so long. He gets on this cruise, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's lovely. He stays in his room though because he's really worried about people, but he is so hungry. And he goes out and he goes into one of the many dining rooms on this luxury vessel. And in there is just so much cheese. Every cheese you could ever imagine. He eats the entire lot until his stomach implodes. Because he has an unquenchable thirst for human dairy.
Okay.
Because it was human cheese.
Very interesting. Because that's very similar to...
Doesn't have it similar.
It's okay, I know, we'll
Ready?
go off this, right, yeah.
Close, but
It's
let's see.
close,
Who
we'll
gets
see
the
what
mustard
happens.
Or
So-
Jesus, it seems. Right, go.
So basically there's this hermit and he's been living on this cruise ship for ages, trying to hide within the bowels of the ship just because he feels like he doesn't want to associate with society, and he's been living on this cruise ship for most of his life. And he's sneaking free food here and there as and when he can, but one day the food shipment doesn't come to the ship, so he has to actually go and find food for himself. So where they've docked up, it's a nice place like Norway or somewhere like that, Sweden, and they goes into the countryside, and the fields are full of yaks, and he's like really thirsty and quenching and really wanting a drink, and he doesn't want to go into civilization at all, so he goes and drinks from the teat of a yak. And unfortunately it's toxic to humans, so he passes away from the tender teat of a yak.
Well done.
Well, I have to say, both very close. But for pure randomness and because I mean the police would never figure that one out.
No.
I have to say you will. Now, bonus.
A bonus.
Look at you both go. It seems all overtime has finally paid off. What a champ. So it's time for me to fuck with my colleagues. So I may spend this bonus to pick up the same number of implements as there are employees.
So you give a bonus to one of the people. You don't keep that.
So you could just give a bonus to Adam, and then we both have a point, and if they're
So you
both
give a
as creative-
recognition to, so the bonus cards and stuff you give out to people who you think are doing
Well,
well.
you can give them both to me, and then I'll be like 1
You
point
know
away.
what? I'm going to
If the message from the top card you're holding is a bonus card, you must allocate this in place of a card of recognition. So no one's going to win this round, but you can leave that bonus to one of us.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so no one wins this round.
No, they just
Right.
get a bonus.
Okay.
Then since
You can't give out the recognition, you have to give the bonus out to somebody.
no, that
Okay.
Yeah.
So I take the bonus.
Okay.
So that basically does that
So
just mean I get
the bonus you should keep to yourself.
okay.
Keep yourself right, and we're going to move over to me now. And to be fair, I should have got discipline because that was human dairy. I had missed the human word off of there, so my thing wouldn't have worked anyway.
Oh, so I can just like use this to get like loads of implements.
Okay, perfect. So no message from the top today, but guys, welcome. I'm your line manager for today, and our setting is, yay, you're going to building brick land. You know the one. Don't be dense. And a jockey. A jockey at building brick land.
Building brickland.
Okay, gather your implement, and then I will. There we go. So at this point, they have a minute to have a look at these cards and figure out what they're going to do. Alex clearly has a good one here. Will has no idea how he's going to get out of this situation. We shall see. And I'm just talking away a minute. So Grimming is readily available from Terratoad. You can find that. It's going to be linked below in the video that you can follow that and get your own copy of this. It's a pretty fun party game. I'm enjoying this. And it's not one of those games where you're only as good as your card, because it's very much you've got to invent your own story out of this. So I prefer these kind of games over things like Cards Against Humanity, where you're only as good as the cards you have. Which, I'm just kind of... Is everyone ready? I'm ready. Okay, you still got a bit of time left. Will.
I don't know how this is going to work, but I'm going to try.
Well, that's all we can kind of wish for. Someone who tries.
Jesus. Okay.
And time is up. Will.
Okay, so as jockeys off of his way to Building Brick Land to go and enjoy all the rides and attractions like the Building Brick Carousel and all of the roller coasters that are around in Building Brick Land, and look and enjoy the sights of the little Building Brick miniature village that is around there. But after going around the entire park and feeling really hungry, they went to a nearby cafe place where they could heat up some soup they decided to bring along. It was a nice chicken soup they decided to bring along. They didn't want like the cheesy pizzas or the cheap pastas they do. They wanted their own dish. So after he reheating the can of soup, he poured it into his thing. But and while he was eating, he started choking. He started choking on his soup and completely died. But he didn't realise that the soup that he brought was Building Brick branded soup. So within there was a Lego brick chicken, a full Lego brick chicken, and choked to death.
So what was your implement?
It was a whole chicken in a can. So I had to sort of implement
Okay.
that. So
Okay, I think that's a good use of implementation there. Okay, Alex.
Right, Building Brickland is right next to a racecourse right now. It's one Halloween, they're having a big event at Brickland, so it's open late. But it just so happens the next day after Halloween, there's a big race. So there's a jockey who's still training that night, right?
Okay.
So it's night time, and suddenly the horse does something it's never done before. It just starts going absolutely ballistic, and he doesn't know why. It jumps over the fence, goes right into Building Brickland, crashes right through the buildings, and all these massive brick buildings collapse on him. But somehow he survives. And it's only when he gets off, the horse is still acting erratic, and he gets off to see if the horse is okay. And he sees just something humping the horse's leg. And just at that moment, another brick falls, but he survives that just as the horse kicks him in the head, and he dies.
What was the implement?
Harold the perverted garden gnome. He comes to life in the night. So this gnome's obviously going to start humping the horse's leg during the race.
Okay, I'm going to give it to Alex because he was a jockey and you brought that into this. But I did like how you got the chicken
I didn't
in the
really.
can there.
That was like, how the hell does a jockey eat a can of chicken?
Right, roll the dice. Will?
No. So
Setting.
a bus stop and a sock puppet. The sock puppet soul at a bus stop.
Soul of a sock.
So
Jesus Christ.
maybe a Muppet.
Looking at it that
Oh,
time.
fuck, sorry.
Yeah!
Oh.
No, you did that previously.
Right, ready?
Off camera.
So how does this sock puppet die? How do they kill a sock puppet? You have to kill the puppeteer or kill the sock. If someone's got a bus, it's an easy victory, but I'm intrigued by your response, Alex. I think Alex is going to have to go first, based on his reaction. I'm waiting to see how this sock puppet gets killed. Right, so let's see. In a minute, we've got a few seconds. And right, are you ready, Alex? Let's go.
Okay, so there's a man who every day he's a puppeteer. He waits at a bus stop so he can go to work,
Yes.
right? And he just happens to be opposite one of those showrooms, you know, the ones with those things that shoot out.
Yeah, all the wavy shoots.
So anyway, every day he's there, but he never bothers getting the puppet out because it's the thing he does for work. But one day he's there and he's got an audition for a new job, so he has to be practicing. And people are thinking he's a bit strange. Anyway, just randomly, like he sees this big shadow above him, and he can't understand why. And then suddenly, like, the next thing he knows, this big thing, it's like a big crushing device, is smashed into the bus stop. And he realises it's not after him, it's after the puppet, and he doesn't know why. And literally, he's still in character. The guy's got like a split personality or something, and he's trying to run away. But he ends up getting his can crushed, but this big thing just crushes down on his hand puppet. So the sock puppet's dead. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it's completely dead. Well, his hand's dead.
And basically, turns out an inflatable flailing tube man is in love with him, and he's got jealous of the puppet.
Jealous of the puppet.
Plausible.
Plausible.
It's like a very soft attack though for those floaty devices, aren't they? They're not very unless is it like.
Has one ever landed on you?
No, very good point. Very good point. Okay, right. I don't know my own cause of my death. We forget it at the moment. We're here to be perfectly honest. So who knows how I died? So are you ready, Adam?
Yeah.
Ready?
One day, Harry the sock puppet becomes alive. It gains sentience. No idea why it's there, but it has a need. It has a need to get away from the magician who actually owns him. So it moves outside of the house and it looks at the newspaper and it's trying to look for something. It doesn't know what it's trying to look for, but in the end, it sees that the Queen of Norway is coming to actually open up a bus stop nearby,
wow.
and it has this desire, this absolute need to go find the Queen of Norway. So it managed to get itself out of the house. It gets onto a bus which is going to the bus stop, which is opening today.
Yeah.
And this is the first bus going to the bus stop. The bus goes up to the bus stop, he climbs off the bus and he sees the Queen of Norway surrounded by security guards and stuff, and it has this desire to kill the Queen of Norway. So it dives at her, but All the guards see it, shoot the crap out of this thing, and it just absolutely explodes. But it explodes in like sparks and metal. And then when they kind of discover, they look into it, they see it's actually nanobots from Russia.
Interesting.
What's the implement?
Nanobots from Russia.
Okay.
Okay, that's I like that. I like that story.
I like that
I think
too.
I'm gonna commend you, Adam, for that.
Good.
That's
I
well done.
I spent too long with the setup.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
like, shit, I've got to do the
the
thing
nanobot.
quickly.
But it was a good setup, though. It was a good setup, a good story.
So recognition. Let's go for it.
Well, I roll
Roll
it.
the dice.
I can't roll it. I'm part. Oh.
I'm really glad he didn't get it.
Yeah,
I was going to think
yeah.
Alex is always going to be the one getting it. Right, so the setting and the plot, please.
Setting Area 51.
Oh.
The Soul. An FBI agent.
Ooh,
Oh, I mean, this
yes.
is great. After you, please, and don't look at it until the timer. You don't want to do it, Alex.
This is-
All right, Adam. Go.
okay, I could probably work with this.
Well, there's only one way to find out.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, so you've got Dave Davidson, an FBI agent, been there about 50 years, guarding all of the highly classified secret, like alien artifacts and all these mysterious objects that appear in Earth that cause weird and wacky effects. Behind, and there's one particular artifact that's been locked away for like years, but no one's sort of meant to look at it or see it because it's an object that gives an aurora that makes people want to go and take a bite out of it. And it's this weird magical teapot, but it's completely made out of chocolate. But the chocolate is incredibly toxic to humans, and it's devised in a way that it tries to attract people in to go and take a bite out of this or take a drink from this teapot. So he ends up walking on his shift, and for whatever reason, there's been like a leak or crack in this cell, and he's lured to go to the teapot, and he takes a drink from the teapot and completely dies.
okay.
And mine is an actual chocolate teapot.
An actual chocolate.
Actual chocolate teapot. Okay. Right. Adam.
Jade Gardner is an FBI agent. She works at Area 51. She has to keep everything hush hush. Today's a very special day. It's a Tuesday the 13th, and there is a huge alien conglomerate coming in and to talk to everyone. So she is really nervous, but she's also not feeling very good because she's got kidney stones. She goes to the bathroom and she passes one of his kidney stones, and it's a really big one. It really fucking hurts. Now, meanwhile, Tommy LaRue, who's also an FBI agent, is actually downstairs waiting for this conglomerate. He hears this really weird noise, this creaking, this absolutely like loud cacophony of noise, and suddenly up above him, the pipes burst and a deluge of shit covers him and just suffocates him. On the investigation later to find out what the hell happened, because the aliens fly away, so what's going on, they find out that a kidney stone caused this blockage, which then caused the explosion.
And the implement?
And it was a kidney stone not belonging to the soul in question.
Oh god! I couldn't beat that. But I'm probably gonna have to
Just out of
activate my
interest, was
phone.
Tommy LaRue any relation to Emmett LaRue?
Oh yeah, from I think it is. Yeah. I'm coming up with names from something we've already done. No special thing this time round, but the setting to impress your line manager is the kitchen floor and a flat earther.
I would like to trigger my bonus, please.
And what's your bonus?
My bonus lets me take the number of implements as there are employees, and so 2.
Yep.
And then I get to dish them out to who I want. So I get to dish out the implements. So I get to see and dish them out before.
Okay, there we go. So he chooses the best implement.
So I worked overtime. Okay. Sure. I'll take that one. You can have that one.
Okay.
It's fine.
I didn't actually
Go.
This guy, he saw it.
Okay.
He's seen it. Are you guys close? Do you know what you're doing?
Kind of. It's like they're both. When I know what they both are, and they're both very similar in the fact of what kind of thing they're related to, and they both fit the theme. So it's pinpointing the exact of what happens with like the different ones. So
I think I've got it. I think
Yeah.
I think I've got it.
I couldn't think what to do with that one. So it's like This one I could probably do something with.
I've got it.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for the timer.
Yeah, we are now.
Will's
Yeah,
just
yeah, we are now.
And Alex, you can go first.
Okay, so we've got a flat Earth who's all happy and everything, thinking the Earth is flat, which clearly it's not. Anyway, like one day, she's doing her cooking, and the kitchen floor starts talking to her. And it starts triggering her and saying, no, the Earth is a globe. It's flat, it's flat. She starts quoting the Bible and everything like that. But no, the floor's having this debate with her. And she says, and the floor says, look, trust me, I'm a floor. I'm flat, but the Earth isn't. Anyway, it starts triggering her. So the floor basically dares this woman to basically like go to the top of a building and say, if I'm flat, there'll be no such thing as gravity, so you'll be fine. So the floor actually convinces this woman to climb to the tallest building and jumps off, and she dies by going splat. And what actually killed her, she wasn't actually talking to the floor. It was poisoning. It was fungal poisoning. She was hallucinating because of the yeast poisoning.
Because of the yeast.
True. That is like also like a relatively similar plot to The Last of Us, but
Is it?
no, it's a fungal infection. It's fungal
no flat
infection.
earthers in it.
It's no flat earthers, but it's fungal infection.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Go.
Right. So we're in a nice kitchen setting. We've got a flat earther who's wanting to prove. He's really determined to disprove all scientists and prove that the Earth is completely flat. So he has grown a load of chickpeas, like these roundish objects, and he's going to prove that these round objects are basically can do exactly the same and travel exactly the same as a flat Earth. So he's been flattening these peas and showing like the difference between flat and round objects, so that you can get the same amount of space in a round object as it would be the Earth. So he's trying to prove using those to how it works. However, these chickpeas he's been growing aren't the regular kind of chickpeas. They're pretty clever. They know what they're doing, and they've realised they're murdering all their kin. So they've realised as they're crushing these, like, right, we're going to try and convince him to eat us. And so we try to say, oh, come on, we put you in a pie. So he ends up eating the chickpeas and dies.
Okay. Now, it's interesting. So it's a sentient chickpea. I think I'm gonna give it to you, Will, just because the yeast seemed like was just a side thing. It was like, oh, because of the yeast. But there was no idea how the yeast got there. If that makes sense.
Flat Earther, they don't believe in gravity. They don't.
No, I understand the gravity.
Right?
I understand that they're poisoned by something. I have no idea how the yeast got, you're like, oh, because of the yeast.
Made their own bread or something, I don't know.
Yeah, but that's the point. I don't know where it came from.
Yeah, this
You need specifics for this. You need specifics. Either way, we all win because of
Yes,
flat
we
earther
do.
diet.
Yes.
So a recognition for you,
Cool.
sir.
A sentient chickpea.
Right, roll the dice then, Will, the new line manager. Nothing coming out. So the setting for today's
A place of fiction.
your choice for legal reasons. So you got to choose
Your
somewhere.
choice for legal reasons. It says your choice, so it doesn't be anyone's choice, right?
What do you think? Should he's doing the setting, right? So
I think you need
to choose it because otherwise Alex and I'll choose different settings.
I could choose it. Okay, so
Because I'm going to choose something really controversial. And
So please don't. We don't want to get cancelled.
Exactly.
So
Okay.
yeah, just choose a setting from a piece of fiction.
Let's say Mordor.
Mordor. That was where I went as well. I was thinking Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. A party planner.
A party planet in Mordor.
Celebration of the orcs. How did a party planner get to Mordor? It's a pretty long journey. Especially when the Eagles decide not to take you all the way. They just drop you like in a mountain like 5 million miles away. I think everyone's sort of thought of their idea at this point, and everyone's just waiting for this time.
I'm just
You're
going
winging it,
to wing it.
You're just gonna wing it.
I'm just going to wing it.
You're just gonna wing it,
Like the Eagles.
like the Eagles.
You did.
But I think you're gonna start because Alex went first last time.
Oh, fuck. Okay, so we never found out what happened to the other blue wizards in Lord of the Rings. They've never mentioned any of the books or the appendixes or anything like that. So this is what happened to one of the blue, or what I planned to happen to the blue one. So one of the blue wizards was a party planner, okay, and he thought all these orcs. They're just kind of in Mordor. They're pretty angry. What can I do to kind of, make the peace? So let's plan a party for them, okay? And he knows the most delicious thing to anybody is chocolate. Chocolate's great, right? So he decides he's going to throw a hot chocolate party, okay? So he plans this entire thing, and he gets this huge vat. He gets loads of hobbits to come and help him, which they didn't know much. Right? It doesn't matter. So he stirs all this big pot of hot chocolate up, right? And as he's kind of doing this, he has to leave it for a while because he's got to go and talk to the orcs and get them to stop eating all the hobbits. So anyway, he sorts that out. He comes back and there is this huge hot milk in there with chocolate in there, and it's got skin on the top. And he's like, oh, I wonder how this tastes. He takes a little piece and he chokes to death on it.
So he chokes to death on hot chocolate.
On that weird skin that forms on hot milk.
Okay, interesting. So he just completely dies from that. So that's it. That sounds like a plausible party time.
Could happen.
So, Alex, what about your idea?
Okay, so my guy has been charged with the idea of going to make peace in Mordor. There's going to be a big War of the Ring breaking out, so you've got to make peace with the orcs and everything. But he's a bit nervous about this. He doesn't want to go straight because it's like going into the lion's den. But Gandalf gives him this magical hat. So it's like one of those hard hats you get in warehouses because he knows that it happens in the future. He said, "Don't worry, that will protect you. Nothing will harm you." And he tests it out. He says, "Great." So he starts talking to the orcs. He's getting on a little bit, but he can't quite make the peace. Yeah. So there's a little bit of unrest, but he's been quite cocky. He thinks nothing can harm him. He can wear this magical hat, and he speaks to the kind of the big orc, the big guy, the team leader, and he angers this guy, and he literally just he throws this boomerang. It's not Australia, but it's Mordor, and this boomerang comes straight, and it literally hits him, and he dies. And he dies because Gandalf gave him the wrong hat. There was a hole in his hat.
Oh.
Top hat with a hole in it.
So it wasn't actually a hard hat. It was
just at first, but something went wrong and there was a hole in it. So by the time he went into Mordor,
magical top hat or choking to death on a hot milk party. The boomerang sounds quite fun. If I give it to Adam, though, he wins.
He wins, right?
But it's not about that. It's meta game. I can't Adam because he'll win.
What's the best story?
The best story is probably the hot chocolate story, in my opinion. So I think Adam's going to take it.
And that's why I'm the winner. And you guys are now going. So that was a game of Grim Inc. You can, there's loads of these little message from the top things on here. There's a ton of settings and souls. And we've also got some expansion stuff in here as well, which get it weird. We might even use some of those, to be fair. What do you guys think? One thing you enjoyed and one thing you didn't?
I really like having to come up with creative stories and telling a whole unique tale for all these weird and wacky characters. To go to weird places, that becomes the hard bit in time to tie that together, but it makes the game fun and a bit random each time, so anyone can sort of win if they come up with the best story.
Yeah,
I feel like with the message from the top, feel maybe an extra. Oh, there is two faces. I thought there was only one on the dice. I thought there was. I wanted more of those to show up.
That was my thing.
Yeah, I wanted more to show up and think that would have been a lot more interesting. But I suppose you could house rule it so everyone gets one at some point.
Everyone gets one
as a line manager, and whether you implement it or not, you don't have to. But I feel that's just I felt like if you wanted to extend the game, you could have just made that a thing where everyone at least you draw a card and add an extra fun put into the game.
Alex?
Okay, I just love the fact that it's not just a game. This is a great kind of tool for kind of helping improvisation skills. This is something that actors could use. Actually, people aren't so good at improvisation. It kind of forces you to be creative. And I love the fact it can be as dark or as light-hearted as you want it to be as well. I mean, as you know, my sense of humour is really dark, very grim sense of humour. So this is the perfect game for me. And it's the thing I didn't like about it is the fact that you won.
There is that. From my side, I really enjoyed the theme of this. I feel this is really unique, where you're trying to pitch how you're going to kill people to your line manager in working for the Grim Reaper. I think the theme's really fantastic. So I echo what you guys said about the positive sides of this. Negative side for me, I was going to say what you said about. I felt there should be more of these on there. But I think the negative side, I had it and it just went. What was the negative side, Alex? What did I just think of? And it went from the top
negative thing is that you won, and
that was it. Thank you. So it wasn't I won. It was that these guys lost. No. The reason, the negative side for me, I think, was the fact that if you're playing 3-player, the previous game we have just played, we had 3 players and we all got kind of 2 points, and the next person to win, the next one got 1 point would win. But the problem is the person who had like essentially the line manager, they wouldn't be able to win.
No.
So if that last round, if Will, you had given recognition to Alex, then it would come over to me, and then I couldn't win, and I'd have to pick one of these guys.
It would have been Alex next, and then you would have had another chance. But it's sort of.
But yeah, you could get the point. It could have got Alex if he gave it to you.
Yeah,
basically, if it comes to your turn, everyone has 2 cards, and you're the line manager.
Yeah.
Then you can't win the game.
I understand that with the 3-player side of things. It's just maybe like a 4-player round would probably be a bit better and a bit more balanced on that front. But
so I think maybe if there was something, some kind of tiebreaker rule, what we probably would have done is what we did with what would like to meet, where we just basically do 1 round, we all pitch, and then we all decide who was the best one, I guess.
Which may have made sense as well if we had also the top, because I know in the deck that's there, they've got like cards that prevent you from getting.
So we didn't have any disciplinaries, and that could come out, and that could
could have mitigated it. And it meant you could have put it on someone that meant that even if you did give it to them, the round still carries on and stuff like that. So there is options, I think, to support it, but obviously we didn't roll many skulls at all.
I think 1, right?
1 for the whole thing,
but yeah, this is Grim Inc. by Terratoad. You can get a copy of that, and I think we put the link below there. I'd highly recommend this. Is definitely a buy from me. Like,
it'll be a buy from me.
It's so unique and so different.
And
it's got to be. We'll find a place on the shelf.
This is fantastic. So, thank you for watching this, guys. If you enjoyed this, and please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Become an Ultimate Ballast and support the channel. There's a link for that below, where you get exclusive videos and videos before other people. I've been the Excitable Adam.
I've been the
They didn't know who to go.
Alex, goodbye.
Goodbye. And I am the ever traitorous Will.
And until next time, stay safe or
Die rolling!